All right, people, it's been a while. This is a watch this video for Wednesday, April 24th. I have not been away from the market for a week straight anyway. I kind of think it's been years since I've been away for a week. And sadly, this wasn't a vacation. This was, I've been moving. And I'm tired. Even though I'm paying movers, you end up finding yourself doing a lot of stuff yourself. And anyway, long story short, I'm pooped. But I'm going to try to pop in and trade tomorrow. And seeing, it's hard to try to catch up when you haven't been trading. So I looked at a bunch of charts just now. Pretty interesting SPY chart here. Been chopping around near all-time highs and starting to head up to challenge all-time highs. So interesting. But when I looked at a bunch of recent stocks with high relative volume, I didn't see, and I haven't spoken to anybody who's been trading the past week. I mean, I've been out of the loop completely, but I didn't see what looked like a lot of great opportunities and a lot of follow-through. It still feels like it's pretty darn low volume out there. So I'll find out tomorrow. Anyway, looking forward to trading again. Don't have a big watch list. Here's what I found. ATHX, really strong volume. Let's see. Let me get my days right because it feels like a Monday to me. All right, so this is Tuesday. So really strong volume on Tuesday, up into resistance where it's had trouble with. But because of that volume, maybe we get a follow-through day tomorrow. I'm going to watch it for a red to green, something like that. ATOS, not really a pretty chart here because you had the gap up, and then everyone who got long on the gap up day got slammed, right? Because then it gapped down and took out the lows of that day. And so really, and look what happened, I don't know, a week and a half later when it gapped up, slapped right back down again. It did get nice volume today, closing well off its highs though. But because of that volume, I guess it's worth watching. I'm not in love with it. I think we're in earnings season too, which makes these small caps even less enticing because they usually don't. You get less follow through on these during earnings season. I guess maybe because there's only so much money to go around. I don't love this one either, but ARCI had a nice volume spike yesterday. Today, kind of a quiet inside day, but well off of yesterday's highs. I didn't see any news, but it doesn't mean there wasn't any. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. SAEX, I've noticed some oil and gas plays moving. SAEX, it's just trending sideways. There's nothing really interesting here, but it looks like in after hours today, it got a pop to like 520 before settling in at 441. So it's definitely something worth watching. And if you glance at, I use USO to kind of watch oil, pretty darn strong. So maybe SAEX is ready to break out of this. Let's go back to the chart. Maybe it's ready to break out of this long sideways consolidation. It had a huge move back here. Then it's had a couple attempts to break out here and maybe even here, but just keeps going right back into a range. We'll see what happens tomorrow. KEG, speaking of oil and gas, had a big move yesterday. 412 to 564 on an intraday basis on big volume for that stock. And that's a healthy move, right? Percentage-wise, 412 to 564. So then today, less than half the volume of yesterday and came down a little bit, just kind of a quiet inside day. Sometimes you get a nice third day move again where you get the pop, the pullback on lower volume, and then another rip. So I want to keep my eyes on that one. VIOT, which I had never heard of before. There's the weekly chart. So I guess it's a relatively new stock. Had this nice breakout here probably last week, and now you got a 2-day pullback so far into about the 8-day. Again, it's worth noting that this big day right here wasn't even 1 million shares. And back here, it barely broke 1 million. So it's a thin stock. I doubt I'll trade it. I've never watched it trade before. But you do have a really strong move and a pullback on lower volume. So it'll be on a chart. And then lastly, BOXL. Kind of a handsome chart here. Huge move back here. Then it's had some spikes. I like the big spike here and then the lower high and then the attempt right here to break this lower high and attempt again. And then it's been slowly grinding higher. And it's really kind of right on the cusp of breaking out over any recent high, with the exception of this November high, which was 484. And it's really coiled, but it's worth noting only 223,000 traded today. So I got to say, I don't love this list. Hoping there'll be some gappers or some intraday news plays, but I'm going to take it slow and just try to get back into rhythm and see how things are trading. Looking forward to seeing y'all in chat tomorrow. All right, have a great night.